What up, everybody? It's your boy Joseph back with another video. I am sorry, guys, for the long 4 weeks of not doing shit on YouTube. I am sorry, so sorry about that, guys. What's going on was I've been at school. College has been kicking my ass. Shit, literal shit. College kicks my ass. College algebra. By the way, if any one of you take algebra, I have my sympathies, as well as for any one of you, because I'm taking college algebra, which is it's like the supreme algebra there will ever be. It's like algebra 3, which combinations of algebra 1, algebra 2, and geometry, and probably I think a little bit of calc, which I took in high school too. So, but it's kicking my ass. And algebra, I'm good at math. I just don't like math. Really, I don't. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I do like algebra, but I do like basic algebra. What I mean is I'll give you an example. Basic algebra. It'd be like 4x plus 7 equals 8x plus 10. Solve for x. Basically, I like that type of stuff because that's pretty much easy as shit to do. All you gotta do is basically minus, subtract, and then on both sides, or either add and whatever you gotta do, and then get x by itself, and you'll get, you gotta add the x minus the x, whatever you gotta do, shit, and you'll get your answer. Yeah. But it doesn't work like that, no. Then, at least not in high school math, or at least not in college math as much. Anyways, back to the video, guys. Today's video is gonna be a TV show review for one of my all-time favorite TV shows, and I'm being this was a show I stayed up till 3 in the morning on Nickelodeon, Nick at Night, just to watch this show. That's how much I love the show. The show was Everybody Hates Chris. God, that was a great show. Chris Rock probably was one of my first favorite comedians before I knew what comedians were. And at the time, I didn't know what comedians were. I mean, I was probably 10 or 11. And I haven't seen a comedian in real life. I haven't seen a show broadcasting of a comedian. I knew what George Lopez was because I watched the George Lopez show. But I had no idea that the guy I know was a comedian himself. I thought he was just a TV actor who, did acting for a show, and that was it. All I knew was that. And it wasn't until I turned 11 turned about 12 that I finally know what a comedian was when I was wanting to go see certain movies and stuff like that. And I was actually a minor comedian myself at school. I was a pretty funny kid. Anyways, if you don't want to believe that, I will try to fix my bar mitzvah video where every kid in my class, here's how I said, 95% of them said, "You're funny, you make me laugh," and then one guy, some people will say, "Oh, you're really nice," but that's basically it. But most of them always said, I was like, "You're funny." So anyways, back to the show. Everybody Hates Chris. It's brilliant show. Chris Rock was the narrator and co-producer. He narrated the show for different scenes, for different what was going on in Chris's head, the actual actor, or what in that situation or that day, what was going on. One of my favorite episodes is where he meets an androgynous girl in high school, and androgyny at the time I didn't know what it was, but what it was what I realized later was a way of dressing that was inspired by Boy George and some other people in around the late 80s who dress. Basically, it's another word for dressing in drag. A guy dresses as a girl, and the girl name was Angel, and he thought it was a girl, and he's so she tells him, he tries to get him this girl Maria that he likes, and there's a scene before that, your name is Angel. No, it's on house, Sarah. It says, and then the narrator, who's Chris Rock, says, "And hell," more what the hell? See, that's what it's funny. That's what was funny about that show. Really good show. Um, then there was like good there was like, there was some funny scenes like one where he's a hall monitor and like he's like no one would expect him, so he tried to do what other people would do it. And one scene where he was the Terminator, like, no citation. I'll be black. I'll be black. Get it? He's black. It was a joke. Sorry if I don't mean to offend anyone, but I thought that was hilarious as a kid. I still kind of think it was hilarious too because, you just put it in there. My favorite episode though is probably an episode where him and his best friend Greg decide to skip school. They go to see the Ghostbusters movie, and this was an actual true story. And then what happens is they skip school, but when they get home, the mom asks him, "How was school?" "Oh, great, nothing really happened, school." The kid, what they didn't know, since he didn't know what happened at school, there was a black art celebrity who came to the school, I think a singer, and the singer said, what was kind of sad was there was a black kid named Chris that goes to the school. He just doesn't, and he was on the news, and the parents are watching the news, and says, he wasn't there, and then the news reporter, "Well, that's sad for that kid named Chris. We're back to this, we're for Corleone Junior High School," and he's like, and then his mom sees it was going through his coat and sees the Ghostbusters movie ticket for that afternoon of the day, and looks at him. She's like, "How was school?" He's like, "Good." "Really? Who are you gonna call?" She holds up the ticket, and his face turns like he gives like a wide-eyed stare, like, "Oh, I'm screwed." Yeah, that's the end of that episode. And then like they do that kind of like the chorus, "Everybody hates Chris," and then. But I'm pretty sure we would know what happens after that was screaming in the black. That kid, he got his ass whooped. Big time. I thought it was a funny show. It was a really funny show. It had 4 seasons, I believe, or 5. It did leave the show off with a cliffhanger, which I really hated. But what I believe would have been nice is that Chris Rock, if I ever met him, I would ask him how the cliffhanger would have ended. But I'm pretty sure the story was he was going to try to get his GED because he was tired of high school and all that shit. So he just wanted to get out of high school, and he wasn't doing well in high school. He was doing well in school, and he hated it. The only good class he actually did well was home ec, which actually I'm not surprised because he was in the show. He does do a lot of the cooking and stuff, and he even told her in a book or in an interview that when he was a kid, he did do a lot of the cooking beside his parents. Because his dad worked 2 jobs, his mom was out a lot, and shit like that. So he was doing the work, and by the way, not a bad class to actually to be good at as home ec, because I'm not gonna lie, nowadays probably would have worked for what he did, but he didn't go to home ec just because he was good at it. Because 95% of the students in home ec were girls, not just any girls, like hot girls, except for that one Angel dude, the guy that pretends to be a girl. Then he's kind of like he's the only other dude I would say in there. But other than that, there's like a couple other people. There was mostly girls in there. Anyways, back to the story. Where was I at? Oh yeah, so he's like, what's it called? He's just doing, all these cool shit. Great show. It talks about, like, lessons, life, relationships. And we got to learn more about black African Americans' lives in the 1980s. Early to late I think it starts in 1983 and ends in 1987. If I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure if I'm not mistaken, but I think it's 1987. That's when it ends. The series ended in 1980. The series didn't start in 1987, but the series time frame is from 1983 to 1987. That's what year it is usually in the show. I don't know what time Chris Rock became like a superstar actor, but I do know that he was, or a comedian, but I do know that was the time frame for the show. Anyways, big fan of, always loved Chris Rock. Loved him when he's partnered up with Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler's a big fan. I've been a big fan of Adam Sandler since I was a kid, since I grew up in a Jewish household. My two favorite Jewish or Adam Sandler movies probably are, actually there's three now. There's three of them. There's one movie called Jack and Jill where Adam Sandler was playing a guy named Jack and his fat twin sister Jill, which was the funniest movie I've ever freaking seen ever. It's just so funny. If you haven't ever watched it, I would definitely go rent it, buy it, whatever you get a chance. Go look it up on demand. If you get it on Hulu, get it on Hulu. They don't have it on Netflix, but definitely go look it up. And it's a very funny movie to watch. Go watch it. It's hilarious. Definitely go watch. The second movie was of Adam Sandler that I like is Sandy Wexler, which is on Netflix. He's like a talent agent, or like an agent for like celebrities in like 1990s San Francisco, and he ends up marrying one of the. It's a great movie, even though it's 2 hours long. It's a very good movie to watch. And then the third and final movie, it's a little dirty, but nonetheless funny, and it's called That's My Boy. And just seriously, it might be a little fucked up, but it's a very funny movie. Definitely go see it. I've seen it like 4 times, and I might see it a 5th time if it's free again, because it's that funny of a movie. So that's it for you this video, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Definitely go watch Everybody Hates Chris. I will see you in the videos tomorrow, guys. There's gonna be more. Be more TV show reviews, maybe a book review, and maybe something surprise that I'm not gonna talk about. Bye, guys.